Hey, Chris, I understand you're launching a new YouTube channel called The Seasoned Rider. Didn't you do that last year?
I'm sort of a bit of a rookie status there. I was just figuring out how to get a video onto YouTube. So this is the real launch. I think I took it down, but last year I posted a how-to video on installing a choke cable on a Goldwing, and it was like 12 minutes in 10 parts. So if you were to watch that, you'd be going next, next, next. So that wasn't very useful. But I discovered the app Video Up, and it's been a blast. It just makes everything really easy and cohesive. So
Great. So tell us about The Seasoned Rider. What's it about?
the Seasoned Rider is about the love of and the restoration of and maintenance and riding of classic Hondas. I have a small Honda collection, so that's what my focus is. And, I try not to take myself too seriously, so mostly it's about fun, but also some of the how-to stuff that needs to be done well. You need to be able to describe what's happening there for people that are following along, because I've done a couple of intense projects and they need to be shot well and helpful. Hopefully this is helpful to some people too.
Sure. So tell us about your process. I mean, how does the recording and editing and the recording of the work help you? And so what's the point?
It's funny. It adds another layer of engagement. Restoration is a creative process, and because you have a vision of how you want this project, a motorcycle restoration, for instance, to look in the end, and you start thinking about colors, and you start fabricating, and hopefully it turns out to live up to what your vision was. And so it's an artistic process. I noticed that a lot of mechanics and restorers are also artists in other ways. One of the more obvious ones is Jay Leno. He's a comedic artist, but a very serious historian, mechanic, a restorer of motorcycles and cars. And he also does this. There's a lot of guitar players who are famously car restorers and mechanics. So there does seem to be a connection between just the arts in general and doing this type of stuff. Not that one excludes the other. There are far better guitar players and restorers than me, but there does seem to be some connective tissue there, which I found interesting. And then, so recording this and editing some video, it adds another creative layer to it, another layer of engagement. That's a lot of fun. I like it.
Excellent. And so you've won a couple of awards for your motorcycles. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I did. I won a first place and a second place for two of my restorations at the largest show in New England. That was a lot of fun. It was a great day, and it's a lot of fun winning rewards and trophies. But really, there's a big payoff when, oddly enough, you're just standing next to a total stranger who's looking your bike up and down, and then he just looks at you and goes, it's friggin' clean, man, and walks away. Like that's the payoff. This I like
Sure.
nailed
That's great.
it.
That's great. And so you've actually done some very serious motorcycle trips. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I have, yeah. So my not so humble brag, I've ridden through the Swiss Alps and the Scottish Highlands. I work that into conversations as soon as possible. It's like, hi, nice to meet you. I rode a motorcycle in the Alps. But yeah, I've done major trips, 10 or 12 serious trips, a couple of them on the bikes that I restored. I rode the CB750 to the total eclipse of the sun, and that was all of Skyline Drive. I think most of the Blue Ridge Parkway. I wandered into Georgia for a while because I was lost before I made my way to the Path to Totality in Franklin, North Carolina. That was a long ride, really like making the CB750 live up to its expectations, and it did. I was really proud of that bike.
Wonderful. And so, what are you working on now?
We just pulled the motor out of the CB750 because it needs a top end rebuild. So that is going to be some pretty inclusive video. I've found out that there's a way to torque the heads down correctly without having to pull them out and retorque them after it's heated up. So that.
Okay, terrific. Well, getting back to the YouTube channel, The Seasoned Rider, can viewers find help? Can they comment? Are you open to looking at their projects and maybe adding some of your advice?
Yeah, sure. And they're going to comment. I mean, I don't really have a choice in that. They're
Right.
going to comment. I think there might be some light mocking. You think there'll be some light mocking?
Yeah, maybe a little.
There's going to be some light mocking. But hey, you know what? That's all right. It gets pretty goofy trying to figure some of this stuff out. When I first started this, I thought that I was going to post all the stuff that went wrong, the trials and tribulations. So, as an example, I spent 20 minutes with a mallet trying to hammer off the water pump housing on the Goldwing.
Mhm.
And then I looked at the video. I was like, I can't post this. Like, this is completely boring. I was the guy doing the hammering. I was bored. So none of that stuff, that all went out the window pretty quick. But I'll certainly post mistakes. There's, sometimes things go wrong, and, that's helpful.
That is helpful for sure. So it sounds like you're itching to hit the launch button. What are we going to see first?
I thought we'd start out with something, kind of light and airy. Let's just go for a ride.
That sounds great. Congratulations and good luck on The Seasoned Rider.
Thank you so much. Nope.